Are you encountering failures when trying to bulk update child records tied to the same parent record? Is it taking forever when making ownership updates to objects? Data skew may be the culprit. Let's look at what data skew is, as well as where it shows up inside Salesforce. We'll explore best practices to help us escape the trap of data skew. Before we dive into specifics, please take a quick moment to subscribe to our channel, Salesforce Explorer. Twice a month, we dig into an interesting Salesforce topic to help expand your knowledge around what's possible inside Salesforce. So assume we had an airplane that is half full. All of our passengers decide to sit in the back of the plane. Do you think our plane would fly very efficiently? Would it even take off at all? Essentially, data skew is like our passengers on this plane. When we have an imbalanced distribution of data inside Salesforce, problems occur. The problems relate to how objects are connected to one another. Say within inside our Salesforce org, we have 1,000 account objects. Each of those accounts has a handful of contacts associated with each. So far, so good. What if we have a bunch of contact records that don't easily pair with an existing account? We have to do something with all these orphans, so we decide to gather them all up and assign them to a new dummy account we've created called Unassigned. At first, that solution may get the job done, but over time, that unassigned account will get weighed down as we start piling thousands of child records on top of it. We're going to start to encounter locking and performance issues. When we perform bulk updates, a lock is placed on both the parent and the child object while that update processes. This is done to enforce data integrity. While this process is fast, there's a high risk of these updates colliding when we lock the same parent object over and over and over again. Not only that, but validation rules and automation can trigger around these updates. This can also come into play when sharing permissions are adjusted. If we change the owner of the account, it now has to examine all of those related child records, which forces recalculation. What feels on the surface like a minor update can ultimately bring performance to a crawl. So, how can we best avoid data skew? First and foremost, avoid assigning 10,000 child records or more to a single parent record. If you're forced to implement this less than ideal parking lot approach, utilize round-robin logic to evenly distribute records across an array of dummy account objects. To avoid the sharing recalculations, don't assign a generic system user a role. Or conversely, provide them with a role that sits on top of the hierarchy. Lastly, clean up your data. The smaller the data footprint, the easier it's going to be for Salesforce to navigate. Remember, Salesforce wasn't meant to operate as a data warehouse. We have to be smart about how we approach data management in Salesforce. With a little preventative maintenance, you can sidestep data skew in your Salesforce environment. If you need help with data management in Salesforce, consider the company I work for, Improving. We have a lot of talented Salesforce architects to help you optimize and get the most out of your Salesforce environment. Please reach out to us at improving.com. We'd love to see how we can help. So thank you for taking a few minutes to explore data skew in Salesforce with me today. If you found this video helpful, please take a minute to like and subscribe to our channel. We've got more Salesforce data-related topics queued up for the weeks ahead. We would love for you to come along and explore with us. Until then.